it's safe to say things just keep getting worse for Vitaly, because now his victim, the guy who he slandered and called a predator for tens of thousands of people on the internet. And now, I mean, obviously there's like infinite clip channels that took those clips and just distributed them across the internet. But that guy, he recently went on to the Iced Coffee Hour, which is the podcast ran by Graham Stephan and Jack Selby. And he told his side of the story. So I asked Graham for permission if I could sit and react to it on the live, because I just want to spread his side of the story as far and wide as possible, because the fact that he had to go through this is just so unacceptable. I still can't believe this even happened. But yeah, we also fixed the camera. So we're good to go for the streaming front. But let's see what this is all about, because I mean, this is just, it's so crazy. I still can't believe this. And remember, all of this is kind of like off of the back of Vitaly getting what, his 12th chance at this point. Like, the first time I like really covered Vitaly, I think, was when he like beat a woman to essentially nothing. Like, it was like an unprompted attack in the middle of the street in Miami Beach. That happened. He went ghost for a minute. Then he came back, started doing these like predator catching streams, which seemed to do pretty well for him. Now, there's a lot of criticism there now, clearly. Now we see how he kind of does all of them. But Gideon made some like really, really interesting points about how Vitaly does his, I guess, his catch and release programs, because they are essentially catch and release, because apparently he stopped over 100 people, or this is what I've heard. He stopped over 100 people and only 3 arrests have been made. So something's wrong there. If he has enough information to blast all their information out on the internet and no arrest happens, sounds off. But as we're going to learn in today's interview, something was definitely off. So yeah, this is just unbelievable. And I wanted to take a look at this. I also wanted to see, let's see, what else? There was something else I wanted to, let's see. So yeah, before we started, I just wanted to kind of go through some of the bullet points I made here. The guy who's talking now, the victim in all this, his name is Akash. Vitaly wrongfully accused him of being a predator. Vitaly, I guess, thought that this guy showed up to meet a minor. Unfortunately, they never told him that they were meeting a minor. That was apparently an important step in the process. One would think, at least, right? Like, you would think if you're going to expose a predator, you better make sure that this guy is actually a predator, right? Or at least is trying to be a predator. Like, come on. Okay, so there was a mix-up, because I guess the woman on Vitaly's team, her name is Jocelyn. She was juggling multiple fake profiles and chats, and she accidentally sent a meetup invite to the wrong person, who is the victim here, Akash. And Akash thought he was meeting up with an 18-year-old. I am assuming the way this happens is they probably started by saying, oh, I'm 18. They reel him along. And then before they meet up, oh, by the way, I'm 16. Now, that's an assumption. I don't know I don't know how they're doing this, but that seems to be plausible with how reckless they are. But I guess, you know, considering how reckless they are, they forgot that last message of, oh, by the way, I'm 16. And then obviously there's like some main things that happened. There was like some just outright racism here. Like, they were essentially, they used, because they thought he was a predator, they just used that to make a whole bunch of Indian stereotypes against him. And another big thing, which I think saved Akash here, was the fact that Akash immediately called the police. That was so good on his part, because if that didn't happen, the slander would have lasted way longer, and they would have continued to go on. And you've seen some of the Vitaly streams. They get pretty crazy, and it's just overall insane as well when you think about when you think about there could be slip ups like this. But regardless, I wanted to take a look at Graham Stephan and Jack Selby's interview here. Let's see. Trying to set up all the stream stuff. Okay, we're going. So let's see what this interview is like. Oh, clicked outside. There we go.
I want to apologize for a mistake we made in one of our last streams.
I was falsely accused by Vitaly live in front of millions of people.
I swear to God, she never told me.
Wait, really?
I swear.
Oh shit! My bad, bro.
The racism.
Imagine. Oh, I just wrongfully accused you in front of tens of thousands of people of being a predator. My bad, bro. Sorry. Dab me up real quick. Like, it's so crazy. This is just,
bullying, the threatening of physical harm all the time while I'm completely and fully innocent.
Don't look at me in my eye, bitch. I'll fuck you up, bro.
They didn't care about the truth. I'm the one who called the cops. I'm the one who gave them my phone. And within a few hours, the police proved that I was completely innocent.
We were completely wrong, and we made a terrible mistake.
By then, it was too late.
How did that ruin your life?
One of the reasons why I wasn't leaving the house was because...
Sorry to your family, friends, your coworkers, and I feel really terrible.
Are you suing
like,
Vitaly?
all around, this is just so half-assed on Vitaly's part.
Akash, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. It's such an honor to be here. I'm filled with so much gratitude that we were able to have this conversation. A lot of people have reached out to me, and podcast reporters, mainstream media, institutional media, and I specifically chose to talk to you guys because I've been fans for over 6+ years now. I love your content. I really relate to it. And through watching
I'm really
you guys
happy he's
for
just
so
getting his
long,
story out there now.
You've earned my intellectual and ethical trust, and I feel very comfortable sharing my story with you.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for coming to the podcast. Honestly, it's such an honor because I imagine how crazy your life has been over the past 72 hours, over the past week. Like, I imagine everything's moving a mile a minute. Yeah. But for you to take the time to come on the show, that means a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, life has been a nightmare recently. Things have been so crazy. And
It is hard to imagine how horrific being accused of that could be. Like, I'm still just shocked that all this happened and it went down like that. Yeah, like Devin said here, Vitaly calling it a mistake is disingenuous. I fully agree. Like, he is so downplaying how awful of a mistake this is, because this is like, dude, you're gonna get sued so bad. Or like, actually, we don't know if he's actually suing or not. He has retained legal counsel. That's what we know. He might reveal it in this interview. But he definitely has a crazy case against Vitaly, to put it lightly, because there's just so much evidence of just willful disregard going on here. But hey,
so hectic, and the support has been amazing from the online community and support from my family and friends. And how do you even explain this, guys? You know,
Well, I mean, we'll start with the beginning. Vitaly accused you of being a predator in front of millions of people. How did that
live as well, right?
How did that ruin your life?
It's like, you can't even pick one thing to focus on, because like, not only was there the false accusation, not only was there the harassment, the bullying, calling out my business before, during, and after meeting me, the fans reaching out to my family during the live stream, calling them saying, your son is in trouble. He's going to go to jail, going to go to prison. And this was all during the live stream when my family couldn't contact me at all.
How many people were watching the live stream? Do you know?
To my knowledge, it was around 35,000 people live.
that's crazy. Yeah. And then watching some of the clips from that live stream, like, all of his information was just blasted out there.
Yeah. And then immediately it was getting clipped by everyone, getting clipped by people in India, spread across India within the same night. And
so this was like instantaneous. Like, as soon as you're on camera, people are already like clipping and sharing.
Yeah, exactly. Like my friends found out, my family found out, cousins in India found out, business partners were being reached out to immediately.
Well, these clipping networks are just insane as well. Because I mean, obviously Vitaly is streaming on Kick, and Kick heavily incentivized clippers. So anytime a big streamer streams on Kick and something interesting happens, there are going to be dozens of clippers spreading those clips as far and wide as possible. It's like the damages here are insane. It's not just the 35,000 people live. It's the tens of millions, or most likely tens of millions of views all of these clips got across the entire internet. Like it's so insane.
Immediately, and underneath there, like social media pages, there were comments saying like falsely accusing me, and people repeating the same messaging that Vitaly was like falsely promoting online and just harassing me, like DMs, all within the same night.
Did you know who Vitaly was?
Any kid who grew up my age, Vitaly was one of the most popular YouTubers at that time. So, like, of course I knew him, and I've watched his content, and I knew who he was. And in the beginning, obviously, like the first 30 seconds, I was just really confused, and I was like looking like this, pointing, because I was just, what is going on? I was like shocked, confused, curious, and there were so many things happening at the same time. Not only were they like being really racist,
A 16-year-old.
not only were they like falsely accusing me of some of the most horrible things you could ever like accuse someone of, they were also like threatening me with physical violence,
Don't look at me in my eye, bitch. I'll fucking fuck you up, bro.
harassing me completely.
It's so crazy as well, because it just seems like Vitaly just loves harassing people for content. That's what it seems like. And then he found this like niche where, oh, if I find predators and out predators, then I'm excused to harass people. The only fault in that plan is, what if they're not predators and you're not 100% sure? And because you're a complete goofball, you goof it all up. And now an innocent person, number one, is harassed by you. And number two, or well, number one is outed, falsely outed for being a predator. And number two is also harassed by you. And all of your unfunny jokes. It's just like, and it's not even jokes. It's just being racist because he thinks it's funny. And it's just like, come on, dude. So it's like rubbing salt in the wound. Not only are you outing a guy for, or falsely outing a guy, like for being a predator, but also all of that on top of it, everything is just so bad.
And then right after that,
I can't
was like,
believe
okay,
this.
I need to call the cops.
How did all of this start?
He literally had one job. That's
Like,
his job.
How did you even come in contact with this person to begin with?
Yeah, great question. So, like millions of people every single day, I was talking to a woman online on a dating app, legally and consensually, of course. And we talked for a couple of hours, and we made plans to meet, and I had no reason whatsoever to assume anything was like wrong.
So nothing stood out. There were no red flags.
Absolutely not.
Just seemed like a normal conversation. And this happened in a few hours. So like you woke up that morning, started talking to someone, met up, and like this, it was like pretty quick.
Yes.
So it was the same day.
Wow.
Yes. And after I agreed to meet up with her, within 30 seconds of me exiting my car, there's just like 9 people with like 5 cameras shoved in my face saying
What
the
a nightmare.
craziest stuff. I had no idea what was going on. I mean, in my head, I was
Talk about the worst first date ever. Like, I obviously I'm not laughing at the situation. It's just like, dude, what a ultimate nightmare. First date, immediately 9 dudes basically jump you and accuse you of being a predator. And you're like, wait, what? I met up with an 18-year-old. Come on.
is this a fucking prank? Like, what is going on in my head?
It makes
and I
sense that he
think I
thinks
even
that.
said this in the video. Like, is this a prank? Because I knew I was completely innocent, and I knew that like I had done nothing wrong. And so in my head, I was like, maybe they're just doing this like for views or whatever, because I knew I did nothing wrong. And then I tried to talk to them. I tried to tell them, look, like, this wasn't me. I didn't do anything wrong. I wanted to show them all the texts and everything. I wanted to get to the bottom of this. And the woman started talking about a second Snapchat. And I was like, I only have one Snapchat. I don't have two Snapchats. And that's not me. You're talking to someone else. That's a completely different person. I didn't know if it was a completely different person. I don't know if she made up the Snapchat, if like this was something done by them on purpose. I had no idea. And I asked to look at the Snapchat, and like this is all on the video that's released online, even the 6-minute video. I asked to look at the Snapchat and they wouldn't show me. And then right after that, I'm pretty sure is when I was like, okay, I need to call the cops immediately because I want all the evidence to be documented.
That saved him. That saved him here so much. Also, he must have been feeling like an insane person at this time. Because like, imagine you're showing up to a first date, 9 people suddenly start pointing at you and accusing you and being racist towards you, saying that you're there to meet a 16-year-old when you're under like everything that you know, you're meeting an 18-year-old, and suddenly 9 people are jumping you about like, what? It's so crazy. Again, thank goodness he called the police, and it's going to be interesting to see the body cam footage of all this.
Most importantly,
because that'll be coming out soon as well.
Me and clear my name fully because I'm fully innocent needs to be documented immediately.
Good.
And the only solution towards documenting that evidence properly, in my opinion, was the cops. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to call the cops immediately. Then they came and I was like, take my phone, look through everything, go through everything. I waived my, like any normal person, if you've watched any type of lawyer TV show or anything.
Yeah, they all say, don't say anything.
Exactly. Don't say anything without the presence of counsel. Like you should know your rights, protect your rights. Anything you can say can and will be used against you. Like,
so they read you the Miranda rights. It was like, hey man, anything you say can and will be used against you. It's like, you want to speak? They went through that entire thing with you?
Yeah. So in the beginning, I was trying to get them to go through all.
Regardless, I think it was smart that he just waived the Miranda rights and then immediately started trying to, prove his innocence. Because the problem is like, there's 35,000 people watching him live. You have all the clippers clipping right there. He kind of has to start controlling the narrative immediately, or else you could have, like, let's say if he just went through the legal process, right, and it didn't immediately waive his Miranda rights and so on, it would have probably taken a while for everyone to find out, oh, he was just falsely accused. Like, imagine all of the life and reputation damage that would have happened if he didn't take that chance and immediately waive the Miranda rights. Like, that is horrifying to think of. Like, this could have really destroyed this guy's life. And also, like, again, what about all the people who saw the clips but didn't see the follow-up of Vitaly saying, oh, delete the clips, guys. My bad. Falsely accused this guy for being a predator. Whoops. It was a mistake. Because those clips, they're so potent. And the way social media works is obviously the most potent clips go as viral as possible. So him going, whoops, guys, I made a mistake. That's not going to go as viral. So there has to be millions of people who've seen these clips but don't know the context that he was falsely accused. Like,
the evidence in the very beginning, the moment that I met up with them, but they said, you need to wait until we read you your Miranda rights. Mm-hmm. And so I had to wait before, I could talk to them about anything. And then I waived my rights and I told them, look through my phone, look through everything. I have nothing to hide. I want to figure this out with you. At this point in time, everything was like a puzzle in my head where the pieces didn't fit. It was like a mystery that needed to be solved. And so it was actually me and 4 of the officers worked together, primarily 3 different officers. We worked together in conjunction to comb through all the evidence from both sides. And I wasn't able to comb through some of the evidence from the other side, but they did it. And they found me fully innocent and completely clear of doing all wrongdoing, to the point where these officers inside the interrogation room were profusely apologizing.
So they checked Vitaly's phone and all.
Think of how traumatized he is.
Because what's to prevent Vitaly from saying, no, I'm not.
It's not like he wants to go on a dating app right now.
Yeah. So
like, holy
it was
crap.
the woman who gave all the evidence to the cops from her side. And after combing through all of her evidence, on call, the female cop, who you can see in the video, she called the woman and she told her, this guy's innocent. You have the wrong guy. We're letting him go. He's completely innocent. You need to take down the videos. Otherwise,
wow. So she complied, but she must have genuinely thought she was like correct by complying. Or do you think that she was confused too?
well, so in the video itself, you'll hear a girl saying, maybe we made a mistake. She was saying that I blocked her when I was on video. I was showing my phone to everyone. When did I have time to do something like that? Why would I want to get rid of any evidence to support my name? I have nothing to hide.
But this just shows how unsure they are. And meanwhile, they're just publicly accusing him of being a predator, and they're so unsure. Like, if there's any doubt, you don't do the confrontation. Like, that is the basic thing. Again, that's his only job now. Like, his main job is to make sure that he is exposing the right person. Like, oh man. It's so sad. And yes, we are live, by the way, unless you're watching this as a VOD later on in the future.
Interrogation room. After I'd given all my evidence to the cops, I told the cops, please ask her for her evidence if you don't have it yet. And then they called her and they were on call with her for an hour, and she gave them all the evidence, and they were like, this guy's completely innocent, to the point where they were telling her he's completely innocent. He did nothing wrong. You guys got the wrong guy. You guys got the wrong guy. We're letting him go. Yeah, they were all just profusely apologizing, saying we've never seen anything like this.
However, the cops are the ones who are apologizing to him, and not
this is
them.
Like a 1 in a million chance for this to happen.
Oh my goodness.
If there were any other cops who were there, who knows if they would have taken the time to properly go through your case and listen to you. And that I'm very filled with gratitude to all the cops that worked with me and took their time to fully investigate what happened and clear me within the same night.
So how much time passed between you stepping out of the car, immediately getting bombarded with Vitaly and his entire crew, and then being exonerated by the cops?
Our guest on this episode was probably seen hundreds of millions of times.
Oh Lord. Yeah, we're doing that. So, sorry guys, we're not watching your ads. Of course. No, they're promoting a clipping software. Oh, okay. Also, by the way, I love both Graham and Jack, and they both reached out to me because they watched my video on the situation. They reached out to me in case I had any questions for them. So I sent over a bunch of questions, which I think some of them they asked, which is why I'm reacting to this live as well. And the main reason I wanted to react to this live is we need to spread his side of the story as far and wide as possible, because again, Vitaly straight up destroyed his reputation. So I want his side out. I want to give him as much of a platform as possible. And it seems like he only wanted to do an interview with Graham and Jack. And the reason for that is because he's just a fan of Graham and Jack, and they've been consistently uploading for a long time. I mean, Graham's been consistently uploading since like 2018. I think that was the first time I ever met Graham in person. They're both lovely people. I've met them a handful of times. So I think their platform is a good use for this, but I wanted to essentially kind of retweet this and try to spread it as far as possible as well.
With Vitaly and his entire crew, and then being exonerated by the cops.
To my memory, around 3.5 hours.
So walk me through this 3.5, 4 hours then. I'm curious, like, where was your mind going? Was your family calling you? What did you experience in those 4 hours?
So the moment I first met the cops, they had my phone. They took my phone, and in the car, I was just, I'd never felt less control over anything in my life. Up until this point, I just felt the least in control, and I ended up turning to spirituality and my faith, and I was just like, God, please help me. I did nothing wrong. Please, make sure all the evidence stays, and please please help me. Please help me. I did nothing wrong. And I was like, the whole world is gonna, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that is
that's
probably one of the worst experiences you can go through.
Just my like intimate life. No one would want their intimate conversations that they have in the bedroom with their partner to be put out to the entire world. It was this is something, I'm a very private person, you know, and now all of a sudden the whole world has their eyes on me, like tens of thousands of DMs, even though like I haven't even shown my face in any of my posts or anything purposely. I was really scared. I was scared for whether or not, like in the moment right after it happened, I was like, what could have happened if I wasn't found fully innocent and cleared within the same night? Like if it was any other different cops or anything.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I didn't know if, you know, the cops were going to fully investigate everything or if they were going to look through all the evidence. I had this was my first time ever, like, you know.
That's the thing. Like if there's a chance of this happening, he should never confront. And I see people are asking which podcast this. It's linked in the description down below. This is the Iced Coffee Hour with Graham and Jack. But again, like if there's any chance of this person not being a predator, you shouldn't be confronting them. Like if you're 99% sure, you're not 100% sure. But clearly they weren't even 99% sure. It seems like they were like, oh, we're like 50% sure it's him. Oh,
inside of a police station, you know, much less in the back of a police car. The most that I've ever gotten, I'm a very risk averse person. In everything in my life, I'm just very risk averse. Like I would never like go skydiving, for example. I don't speed when I'm driving because like I don't want to use up my luck on the road. And so the max I've ever gotten was like a speeding ticket like 5 years ago. And now, you know, I'm fighting for my life. In the moment, like even though there was so much like racism, like crazy racism, like it was like,
yeah, what was that like? Like have you had comments ever like directed at you like that before?
Oh my God, like there's always some experiences like as like, you know, like a minority, you'll like just you'll have some type of experience. It might not be like really big or anything like that, but like nothing at all compared to like what was going on then. I mean, the moment he pulls up, he's just being so racist, which was,
yeah. I mean, he was accused of being
like,
the worst thing possible
to me. I was like, what are you doing? You know? And in the moment, honestly, even though all of these injustices were happening, like crazy things were happening, my main thought was like my main like priority and my main focus in my mind was like, what is going on? What is going on? I was so confused. I was just trying to understand the situation and then like get all the evidence and then like prove that I just didn't do anything wrong at all. I was like, okay, like the first thing that I need to do is just focus on like proving my innocence.
So when they proved you innocent, did anybody in your life still believe that like, hey, maybe he's not innocent? Or did everyone come around?
When I first released a statement, before I released the audio, everyone was still in doubt. Even though Vitaly had video and written statement saying that, you know, I didn't do anything wrong. And even though I put out a statement saying that, you know, like even the cops fully cleared me and proved me innocent, people were still thinking that maybe we paid them off or like there wasn't enough evidence to prosecute me or whatever. But in reality, the truth is they found evidence that it was a full 100% mistake on Vitaly's team, guys. Like this was
I want to know how long it took for Vitaly to actually apologize and what kind of communication Vitaly has had with him since all this happened. Like, is the only communication just Vitaly apologizing to the public a few times and on his stream at the end, and then like he did that like Twitter video and so on. Like, if that's the only communication, that's just, it's crazy. It's disgusting. This whole situation is one of the grossest situations I've seen on the internet in a while.
Like, there's evidence that this was a mistake on Vitaly's team and Vitaly's side.
What was the mistake?
Great question.
From your perspective.
So so I mean, like, this is the clear-cut mistake that they made. The decoy, who her job is to talk to as many guys as possible on dating apps and then move them over to Snapchat, tell them her fake age, and like get them to meet up.
Okay, so it was probably a bait and switch for the age,
She
right?
never told me anything. Like,
if you're on dating apps, your age is above age, right? I haven't been on dating apps in over like a decade now, but like, I'm assuming you have to be over 18 to use them. So I'm assuming they're using a fake age, and then so I'm assuming she was 18 on the dating app, and then when they moved the conversation over to Snapchat, I'm assuming she just forgot to mention a fake age that she was 16 actually. And then they were like, oh, he's here to meet up with some 16-year-old. Like, yeah, that's now I'm assuming, but that's what it seems like happened here.
I added her on Snapchat and I sent 3 messages and never got a response back. And so then we kept texting on the dating app, and she was texting a bunch of guys at the same time because like that's what she was being incentivized to do. And she mixed up. Apparently she like thought that she was talking to me when she was talking to like one of the other, who knows how many guys she was currently talking to at the same time.
Dude, that's also the problem of doing all this live, because they're constantly trying to get that content. They just want the crazy confrontations and the stream content. So for them to have a constant flow of stream content, she needs to be messaging a whole bunch of people at all times. So they always have some dude to expose. So that's how slip-ups like this happen. Oh.
And then like apparently she thought it was me, and it wasn't. She was talking to someone completely different, a real guy. She was talking to them, and that's who she had the conversation with on Snapchat. And it was never me. Her and I never ever talked off the dating app because she never responded. And the police saw that.
What was the hardest part for you mentally? Was it like fear, anger? How do you keep your composure?
I keep my circle close and very tight. The biggest emotion that I had was just my family. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if they were going to I didn't know what they were gonna think. I didn't know whether
this
they would
is
believe
heavy.
me.
I mean, I can't believe they did this to this guy.
Like in the beginning, I was just really. They're my strength. They're my rock. My foundation. I didn't know what they were gonna think, and that was probably the most scariest thing of all. And like, surprisingly enough, like the second biggest feeling that I had was like gratitude for my parents. The first time that I called them and got to talk to them, because I wasn't allowed to, talk to anyone because I didn't have my phone until after I got fully proven innocent, because they were using my phone as a source of like evidence to look at and comb through my entire phone. Right after the cop talked to, on the audio, you can see I'm going to give the cop says, I'm going to give the phone to your son so you can speak to him now. And so I was calling, like, I was talking to my parents, and they were just like, we love you. We support you. We know you didn't do anything wrong. Like, we're here for you. And the first time I cried was when I heard the cop say I was innocent for the first time.
We determined that he was not the right suspect we were looking for. So your son was perfectly compliant. He was cool with us, and he just happened to be wrong place, wrong time.
And then the second time, like, I choked up and started crying was when, like, I heard that from my parents, and I was just like choking up, saying like, "Thank you guys so much." Like, I don't know how many like parents would really stick up for their kids in a situation like that when private details are getting exposed. Like, they just, all they cared about was supporting me. They said, like, we love you. We're here for you no matter what. That, like, you're our son. like, we're so proud of you. Good job for calling the cops. We're really, really, really proud of you for calling the cops.
That could have gone so differently had you just said nothing.
Yeah.
And
Or
said,
just left.
Yeah.
Or left, or I'm going to retain an attorney.
Yeah, if you did that,
because
the
I'm gonna
internet
tell
would
you,
have
man,
taken control of the narrative, and the internet would have spun it the way the internet does. So again, I mean, it was so good that he waived his Miranda rights and then tried to get to the bottom of it immediately.
Had you done that, it would have taken months.
Yeah.
And if you
play out.
left, like they could have just said you deleted evidence.
Yeah,
On both
true.
sides.
Yeah. And I mean, I knew that I didn't do anything wrong. And so in the beginning, I tried to explain that to them. Like I was trying to explain it to them, and I was trying to like work out what happened. Like where was this a prank? Is this like miscommunication? What's going on? And they didn't care about that in any way, shape, or form. We had no choice. Like I had no choice, but I had no choice. Like at first I tried to, talk to them sort of calmly, and explain what was going on. And then like when they started physically threatening me, at least I'd already called the cops at this point.
Yeah. I'm curious, the viewers of this live stream, how do they find out like your name and like try to find your family? Like how do they do that?
Yeah. So even in the beginning, before I had met her in person, they were calling out my business. And then
anything.
during
They
the
just
live
leaked
stream,
all of his
when I was
information.
calling the cops, and I was giving them my information, they didn't mute the mic.
Oh, so they were filming you
Yeah.
basically saying, here's like my info.
Yes.
That's
and then
crazy.
they muted it
With the
when-
cross-
That's what was like. So that's what I was like really shocked about seeing the clips. I mean, they had like 35,000 live, and they didn't care because they thought this guy was guilty. So I guess they just thought F him. Like it's so bad. And again, they weren't even 100% sure, and they just acted like F him. Like let's just blast all of his information out there.
Like the moment when they muted it was when I was giving out the address, but before that.
Yeah, the person who is falsely accused is a victim here. And I saw a lot of people saying that, like, why wasn't Vitaly arrested? My understanding is all of this is civil. So, like, Vitaly did reputational harm to this man. So it's really up to him to sue him or not. It's such a messed up situation.
They
So they're
like
filming the whole thing.
Yeah.
They
like,
never stopped recording.
Yeah, I mean, they knew I was going to give my information because they heard the cop ask me what's all my information. They didn't mute the mic or anything like that. And then even then, like I said, I was saying my name, and they said, "Oh, like you made a mistake. Now everyone's going to know who you are," or whatever. And then, I mean, but even then after that, they called out my LinkedIn, my business. They told people to go cancel me and my business. And so before, during, and after this entire thing, they told people to go after my business.
And what about your family during that 4-hour window before the public statement was made that you were not guilty of what they were accusing you of? And your own phone, I imagine, like what were the messages, the outreach? What did all of that look like during those 4 hours?
I was getting a lot of phone calls, and like my father was like calling my phone, but I didn't know because I didn't have access to my phone. And then they were like, my parents believed that I did nothing wrong because I called the cops immediately. And like, they were very proud of that. They were like, okay, like when you called the cops, that's when we knew for sure, without a doubt in our mind, he didn't do anything. Like you didn't do anything, Akash.
What about friends, acquaintances, people you used to know? Your parents' phones, were other people calling your parents? Like, I don't know, childhood friends' parents or something like that?
Yeah, so like after, like even up until today, everyone is like talking to my business partners and family friends and like my close friends.
So you had like what, a 6-ish hour window of him being just blasted across the entire internet as a predator. Like that can spread so far and so quickly. Like the people he went to school with, people he works with, his family. And then like the future people he meets, like what if people recognize him from a clip and they don't have the context of, oh no, he didn't actually do this.
friends and extended friends and just people who know me through other people, etc. Like people who know, oh, like this guy's a cautious friend, reaching out to all of us saying, oh, like what happened. Everyone wants to know more details. Like the video and me being innocent, it's not enough. Everyone's reaching out and saying, oh, like we want to know more. What happened?
What do you think they want to know?
I guess they just want to know like more, like how I felt. I don't even know. And like a lot of them are offering their condolences, etc. Like the support has been really amazing in terms of like the outreach from family and friends and everything after I was proven completely fully innocent.
How are you doing?
Taking it day by day, step by step, like trying to focus on gratitude for the cops, my family, the support of the online community, being able to come like on a podcast like this where I've been watching your content for years and been a fan of you guys, an honest, true fan, where I've learned so much.
You have to be a very mentally strong person to get through
still
this.
Happening,
like
right?
this
it's
is
not like
unthinkable to be accused of something like this.
Like ordeal isn't over yet. Clearly, people are still finding out.
Do you think it went more viral when Vitaly apologized? Because what's funny is that's how I found out about it, was when he said, delete the video. And
also I'm seeing like a lot of people saying like he's milking it and so on. He's absolutely not. He was just, this is the first time he's talked about this publicly. Like, what do you mean he's milking it? He was falsely accused of one of the worst things anyone could ever do. There's no shot he's milking it here. He's clearing his name. He's talking about his entire experience. It's not like he's gone on like 80 different podcasts now and on all this press tour. And honestly, I wouldn't even fault him if he decided to do that, because he would want to spread the fact, like he would want his side of the story to go as viral as possible. So like the fact, like, yeah, this guy's absolutely not milking it. If anything, this guy has to have a platform to spread his side of the story, because Vitaly took that away from him. Vitaly used his platform to destroy this guy's reputation. So it's extremely important that this guy's side is out there on the internet. This infuriates me so much. I'm sitting here just in anger. Like, this is very uncomfortable to watch.
The idiot that
because
I
I'm just like
am,
so upset.
What's the video?
Yeah.
And then I look it up. But just him saying delete the video is enough for a lot of people to be like, let me find the video.
Yeah.
And then everyone started reposting the video.
Yeah. There's
and he
another
wants it
point
taken
with that
down.
as well.
It's like the Streisand effect. It makes it worse.
I mean, I haven't really.
Also, you have that side of like, okay, if a whole bunch of these big viral clippers are deleting their videos, right? It's hard to quantify the total views all these clips got, right? So that could affect damages in court. Oh,
taking a look at the numbers, but I mean, I do think that like the apology did like have an effect on the virality of it. But I also think that no matter what, he would have had, like, whether it's now or later, he would have had to apologize. But yeah, it's just like, it's everywhere. I think like 250 million different people have seen this entire thing.
Have you got recognized in
no
public
shot.
yet?
No, but I haven't gone out in public, really.
Yeah, I remember you even saying like you're worried about.
Okay, I didn't even realize it was 250 million people. 250 million people saw a clip of you being falsely accused as a predator. Do you know how hard it is to get 250 million views? Like it's going to be almost impossible for him to get his side of the story out in front of 250 million people. Like, this guy's reputation has been permanently damaged because of Vitaly. It's so bad.
Going to the airport.
And that makes it worse than what I thought it was.
Just because we don't know what people are thinking, and we don't know what's going on. Who knows, right? And so this is like, we're all very private. This is, my first time in the spotlight, and it's something that I did not ask for. And nor did I ever want. You and I were talking like offline, and I told you that I always wanted to be like a wealthy man, but be able to walk anywhere in the world and have nobody know like mine and my family's name. Like I thought that was like peace. Like that's what I wanted. That's what I envisioned. I never had any desire for fame at all. I know how that really takes away your right to a private life to some extent, because everyone's always looking at you. Like I never wanted any of that, but here we are.
Yeah. Has Vitaly reached out to you privately?
Aside from right after the apology, asking what we were going to do legally, no, he has not reached out.
See, he only cares about himself.
Proven,
because he's just like, all he's doing is he's like, oh, okay, I'm going to get sued, so I'm going to play it safe. Like, he doesn't, that's my opinion. It just doesn't seem like he actually cares enough. That's so shocking to me. Or, well, it's not shocking knowing Vitaly's character, but you would think any normal human being would be in constant contact. Like, this isn't one of those, my bad, bro. Like, are you serious? Oh,
I have.
What did they say?
That they don't believe me, even though all parties involved have fully cleared me and said that this is a mistake on Vitaly's side.
Yes, it's so much worse than what I thought. And also, I see a lot of people are like, are you staring at me? No, my monitor's right beside my camera. So I'm not trying to keep eye contact with you guys throughout this, but this is so painful, because like watching this interview is also making me realize how much worse it is than what I thought it was. I know it was really bad. I knew it was really bad, but just the lack of communication from Vitaly, it seems like he's only trying to cover himself. Yeah.
Just a person that this is all staged. Can you believe that? Can you believe that?
That's crazy. People would think that
what
that
nonsense.
would be one of the worst things ever to stage.
Dude, what nonsense. And like in my head, like honestly, like all I could think of is what nonsense. Yeah, it was just it was crazy. Like the hate, the racism. Like there was a lot of racism after the fact too. There was a lot of there's some physical violence. People were threatening, like they're gonna like, come to my house, or, yada, yada, yada.
That's gotta be terrifying.
And that's what happens when you're falsely accused of being a threat, because you have people who want to avenge.
Like if they say they're gonna, okay.
We hired security, even though it's super expensive. We were just scared, really scared. Like, what's gonna happen? Is anyone gonna, they have my name, they have everything, my business. Are they gonna find out where I live? Are they gonna come? Like, one of the reasons why I wasn't leaving the house was because what if someone's waiting for me outside? I've never been in this position. I've never had the whole world spotlight on me. And like, who knows what people are going to, think and do, right?
People could be crazy.
Exactly.
And all it takes is like out of millions, there's one.
One person.
Just
one bad
it's
actor.
A little cuckoo.
Yeah.
But everyone else, one.
Yeah.
It's not worth taking the risk on the one.
Exactly. And so, like, we did have to take precaution in the aspect of like, be really safe, maybe consider like getting an Airbnb or something like that for the time being. Luckily, there's been no incidents, physical incidents or anything like that, but there has been a lot of threats made, and just, hate and racism, and like the DMs, comments, whatever you name it.
Are you suing Vitaly?
I'm keeping all my options open. Right now, my number one concern is the mental health of myself, my family, and the people around me. He has to be held accountable.
Okay. So, I mean, there you have the nodding. He has to be held accountable. Sorry, this is so heavy. I can't even imagine the pain this guy had to go through.
When a false accusation like this is made live in front of millions of people, especially when you add everything else on top of it, proper verification and like proper procedure to make sure that you have the right person is so incredibly important. This can ruin lives. Imagine if it was someone else that, like, I don't know, like, if this happened to almost any other person, who knows what could have happened? Like, if my father didn't record the phone call, audio call with the police, then even like until now.
That was also a key part because they released that and spread that clip very widely on Twitter. And that also helped his whole perception of him. So that's also a very good point. I mean, dude, this is such a nightmare for anyone.
Like, we're about to get like the police report, etc. But it takes a week to get the police report. We wouldn't be able to prove my innocence until now.
Yeah.
But because we got the audio recording, because all these things happened,
Anthony waived his Miranda rights.
That,
so good.
Like, God had my back, where not only was I able to be proved completely innocent of any wrongdoing the same night, but the whole world was able to find out. And like after the audio call, that's when everyone was like, oh shit. How often do you see a cop apologizing like that? For like a mistake,
especially for how quick.
Yeah, you got very lucky. I mean, considering the circumstance,
exactly.
You got
like
insanely.
Yeah, you're like the luckiest guy ever, man.
Yeah, it was
when you think of how bad it could have been and what the outcome was.
In the beginning,
just funny to say
I felt like
lucky.
In the beginning. Listen, it felt like a cosmic fucking joke, right? In the beginning, I felt like the most unlucky person in the entire world. I felt like this was like.
It's like a horror film, essentially.
The devil was trying to ruin my life through the most like insane way possible, because like you can't even make this up, man. Like if you were writing a story, you can't even make this up. And then towards the end of all this, like a couple hours later, I felt like the unluckiest man and then the luckiest man within the same night. Like I was feeling both ways at once, if that can make sense, because the cops looked past like everything in terms of like they looked past all their assumptions about me or whatever to properly comb through all the evidence, investigate everything really thoroughly and prove my innocence. Yeah. And then like my parents, the support of the online community, and then everyone like believing I'm innocent after like the audio call for the most part, that being released and that being recorded. Being born into like such a...
That's like crazy because like I think it was in the same stream that this happened. It was either the same... No, this was not the same stream. It was after he got out from the Philippines and he started doing these catches, the pred catches, because now we're not even sure how many of them were actual preds or not. I would be extremely skeptical of every single one. But you have that whole situation regarding Disney where they were confronting a guy, but we never got any confirmation if this guy was trying to meet up with a minor or not. Like there's so many things that make Vitaly look so bad. You also have the situation with Asian Andy, the other streamer, because apparently Vitaly confronted another Asian guy who Vitaly was alleging was a pred, and he started calling him Asian Andy, which is another streamer's brand. He's a massive streamer. He became like pretty famous for harassing squatters that were squatting in his family's property. And then the fact that Vitaly is essentially calling a random Asian dude who he thinks is a pred the name of a popular creator is crazy. And all of this is happening just right before this happens. So there were signs of just a complete willful disregard of factual evidence. And obviously the Asian Andy stuff could be used in Akash's lawsuit to prove that there is a willful disregard of facts.
All of these factors all played like a huge pivotal role towards my innocence being proven within the same night.
If Vitaly was here right now, what would you tell him? You
tried to ruin my life, and there was no care for due process or verification, proper verification. Not only did you try to ruin my life, you were extremely racist, called out my business before, during, and after, threatened physical harm. Just, like, why? Like, I get
for views online. That's what it seems like. I mean, he was too busy trying to entertain an audience than actually fact check and make sure that he's actually calling out a predator here.
Support, protecting the innocent and vulnerable from any type of wrongdoers whatsoever. But like, shouldn't you know how important this is? You've been in in this, industry or business or whatever for so long. Like, who knows how many other people this happened to? If it did, I don't know. But if it happened to other people, like, who knows?
I think it was Gideon that was saying the numbers of there was around 100 catches he's done and only 3 people were actually arrested from it. So that says something as well.
Well, why didn't you care about that? Well, why didn't you check yourself? Why didn't you check all the evidence yourself before falsely accusing me and harassing me and bullying me?
It seems like you didn't care.
Do you think that this is a cause that Vitaly actually does care about?
After looking through all his videos, not really. The day right after all this happened, and he had already found out that I was innocent, he went on live stream, and there was this other person who was rightfully accused. They caught the right guy, and he was telling the world, let's run a poll in the chat. Should we release him or should we turn him into the cops? And he was making
I didn't see that clip.
One guy go with them throughout the entire stream to catch other predators and turning it into content. And then at the end, the chat and everything had voted to release him. This was when he knew I was innocent. The very next day, then he was planning on letting this guy go, and he said this multiple times on stream. The very next day that, okay, I'm gonna let him go. We're becoming friends with him. He's a chill guy, whatever. And this guy ended up running away or something. Who knows what happened? Even though they were planning on letting him go, this guy ended up running away. But if they really cared about this, if at all he really cared about this, and this is all, my opinion, but if at all he really cared about this, then he would probably call the cops on this guy immediately.
What's interesting
Absolutely.
is that
Yes.
Jack and I were doing some research on this, and we came across someone who was doing something similar. And they said in the way that people go about catching these people, there's so many errors that actually prosecuting is next to impossible with the way that they do it. And that out of 100 cases where the cops have been called, I think they said only 2 or 3.
Yeah, out of 100 cases, there have been 2 or 3 arrests. So it's like the people are getting publicly shamed, but it's not actually doing
justice.
It's, well, not only that, but it's not stopping it. Yeah. Because if they're still out free to roam, then they're still free to do whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the public humiliation is as good as just keeping them away from public where they could continue to do harm. Like if you humiliate someone who commits a violent crime, will that just stop them from doing it again? Or is it a person that has, a compulsive nature where they can get angry really quickly, or someone who has a compulsive nature in a different way where they can feel a different way very quickly? So there are other people on YouTube that have done this effectively. I used to watch this guy, Anxiety War, all the time.
Yeah.
Anxiety
he was so
War made
good. This
Zach Swears.
Dude, 2012 to 2014 YouTube.
He made phenomenal content. And he would have these conversations and he would document. Every video was like a full documentary on the entire encounter.
The 3% hit rate is just diabolical. Ugh. What a nightmare case. I mean, this is just, it's so sad.
The exchange that was had.
I
And
feel like
he
I
would
keep
even
saying
meet
that,
these
but-
people. There was one where he like shaved his beard and like
How else
tried
do
to
you describe
look
it?
like a little boy.
Yeah.
And he like met
Yeah.
this, like it was the amount of research that he would do into this. And
Months.
every single
Yeah.
time he would draft a perfect case and hand it off to the local authorities.
Didn't he
And so
blur
it
their
would result-
faces too?
It would result in
Yes.
actual arrests, and he would do updates on the arrests.
Yeah.
Someone like Vitaly, if you in this isolated incident, and this is just my opinion, it's not a statement of fact, if you look at this as an isolated incident, you may be able to say, you know, maybe he does care about it. He does seem passionate. But if you map this out across the timeline of his career, he has clearly not shown any form of like moral, you know, standard with what he's done. Like he's just chased whatever most outrageous thing that he can do for views. And another thing that I actually think is very twisted is a lot of the people that try to catch these predators, what they end up doing is basically like a form of like mini TORE, where they basically get this person in a vulnerable state of like, hey, your life is screwed unless if you do this. And they just make content out of it. It's not actually about getting this person arrested and solving the problem. It's just about whatever outrageous content. How else can you get someone where you can get them to do whatever you want?
Yeah.
That's also the thing is like, also they better be like 100% sure again. And clearly they're not 100% sure. So imagine doing all of this, torturing these people and yeah, it's just so bad. It's just so horrific.
Yeah.
Aside from holding this over their head saying, hey, if you don't follow our rules, then we're going to, you know, and then.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, isn't that like extortion and blackmail?
Yes. Which I think is probably what leads to, well, let's say my opinion on the matter is yes. What leads to a lot of these people getting let off.
Really?
They could maybe also call it a honeypot where they were lured in.
Oh, so
and
like
they wouldn't have
entrapment?
acted in this way.
Yeah,
maybe.
but there's also proper
maybe
documentation.
fraud, I
there's
guess.
proper documentation that needs to be had. Like with like, there's probably
course,
a way that you need to have the conversations instead of just like having some random person with no credibility or credentials.
All the proof that you need to have, honestly, is if you have like, you know, like text messages showing proof that the person was informed of the fake age, that's pretty actionable, at least from my understanding. And like, because there was, you know, there was no evidence that I did anything wrong in terms of like.
And yeah, that, I mean, that's fine. If you have 100% confirmation, this person was like, oh, it's okay. You're a minor. I'm going to go meet up regardless. I mean, then it's like, okay, call him out for it. But still, you have to be 100% sure. And here they just completely goofed it. It's so sad.
Nothing was ever deleted or anything.
Yeah, he essentially, I won't say he confirmed it, but it seems like he confirmed that he wanted to hold him accountable. So it seems like he's definitely going to sue him. I can't say definitely, but it seems like he's going to sue him. He did say he retained some serious heavyweight lawyers. So I'm assuming that they're doing their work right now and due diligence on the case.
So like, and they checked to see whether anything was deleted, by the way.
Yeah.
They did a full, this is a very serious deal. And so the investigation was very, very thorough. And yeah, I mean.
Well, I recommend that justice is found one way or another, whether that's through the courts or some other way. I hope that you're made whole because you're just living a normal life.
Yeah.
And of course, this meteor comes and completely throws you off of whatever course that you were on.
Yeah.
One thing that I was curious about is I try to think about this from my perspective. Let's say that I have a date planned out with a girl. And I've never met this girl before. Let's say like I meet her online and then I just Google her name because I know a lot of girls Google whatever guy's name when you should do this. If you're going on a date with someone, Google their name. And I Googled your name. And the first 5 pages of Google all have to do with this case. And
oh my gosh.
Even if it says that you were wrongfully accused of it, I don't think that matters, unfortunately. Like I'm not saying.
Yeah,
this,
I mean,
like,
it's
I'm just trying to
sketchy.
be honest with you. if I were to Google a girl's name and it said wrongfully accused of, you know,
Crime.
like her ex-boy.
That is actually what's so bad as well. Because
Boyfriend?
even though he's
I'm like,
completely,
I am
his reputation should be cleared, but you know, Googling his name is cooked. Yeah, no, I feel so bad for him. And I mean, he deserves to sue the crap out of Vitaly for this. This is just so bad.
I'm not getting anywhere near this girl.
Like just in case.
Yeah.
Like even though it's like I'm 99% sure, but that 1%.
Unless if she's really attractive. No, I'm kidding. I'm not getting anywhere near this girl.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's just no reason.
Yeah.
Like there are so many fish in the sea. Why would I take a chance?
Yeah.
Even if it's like there are 5 pages of wrongfully accused. I don't care.
Jack
I'm not
is
gonna look
shattering
into
his
it.
dreams
And so
right now.
I'm curious to see kind of how this plays out in the long run. Fortunately, a lot of people have rushed to your defense.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a concern of yours? Like, or I'm also curious, this is kind of twisted, but
This is why his side of the story just needs to be echoed as far and wide as possible. Like, if anything, the Clippers should be clipping the crap out of this.
you had people reaching out to you, girls specifically, because of your composure in the video. You seemed very like cool and collected. Did anything like that happen?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of support from everyone, male, female, even parents. A lot of parents are reaching out saying, if this was my son or like daughter, I couldn't imagine. Like I have kids that are your age. We have your back. Thank your parents. Thank your family. We're like very proud of you for the way you handled yourself. And it has I am concerned that it will affect my life in other areas in terms of professional, personal relationships.
It's a valid concern.
Even if 99.99% of people will forget about this in 2-3 days, maybe after even 10 minutes. For any type of, personal, professional relationship, if they look me up and this is what they see, who knows what they might think in 5-10 years? Who knows? And it's just something that we are forced to deal with now.
What have you learned from this experience?
My friend reached out to me right after all this happened and told me God gives the most difficult battles to his strongest warriors. I pray that I am a vessel to do something good. I really hope that. And if this is a test or something like that, then I really hope that I have good faith and goodwill. Because it would make a lot more sense if maybe all of this happened for a reason, for maybe some good to come out of it. That would really help a lot. I have reached out already to everyone, and I told them that I'm not accepting any money or donations. Please, everyone, if you see any type of GoFundMe or cryptocurrency or anything in my name, please do not donate to it. And
This is also extremely important to get out there.
To help in any type of way possible the falsely accused, please consider donating to the Innocence Project. I know this has been a nightmare, a complete and total nightmare. But I used to always tell this to all my friends before any of this ever happened. There's 2 types of people in life. The first person, something really bad happens to them and they want the whole world to feel the way they did. The second person, something really bad happens to them and they never want anyone to go through what they did ever again. And I'm the second guy. I want to be the second guy. I'd like to be the second guy. And that's why after a lot of thinking, if the most horrible thing that happened to me in my life, the most difficult adversity I've ever gone through in my life, which I don't think I deserve to have happened to me, if that can help someone in any type of way, if we can use it to affect some type of good, if even one person donates to the Innocence Project because of this, at least something good will have happened.
What's the Innocence Project?
So the Innocence Project is the topmost charity that supports any falsely accused innocent person that doesn't have the means to support themselves. The Innocence Project takes up their case and helps them. And they're doing a phenomenal job. Obviously, you guys can see why this matters to me. very deeply.
We'll link to the Innocence Project down below.
Really appreciate you coming on. And I'm curious, what's something that you want everyone to know?
Thank you so much for having me. Everyone got to know a side of me that is completely private. And what I would want everyone to know is that I'm a normal guy. I'm a businessman with a passion for vending machines. The reason why I started it is I think it's the most resilient business against AI. And that's what I want to be known for. A businessman, someone who loves what he does and cares for all the people around him. I'm a very private person. I never wanted to be in the spotlight, and now it seems like the whole world has their eyes on me. And if everyone wants to know me as, like, if they want to get to know me, I would just say, look at my passions. Look at what I love to do. Business, family, faith. These are the core tenets that I live by. And that's what I would like to be known for.
I think we need a vending machine in here.
That would not be a bad idea.
But we could split the profit.
Yeah, high ticket sales, so you don't have to sell a bunch.
I got you guys.
We completely forgot to film an outro. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end.
Yeah. Wow. I'm shocked that this all happened. It's so bad. This shouldn't have happened to begin with, but now the guy just has to live with this new reality. Because of Vitaly's complete negligence. So, like, what happened after all this? Obviously, Vitaly apologized, I guess, twice. One on Twitter. No, one on his stream, and then one, I guess, on Twitter, because he made this, like, video that he posted on Twitter. According to the victim here now, he didn't reach out privately. He did a, my bad, bro, on the stream. As if that fixes any of this. 35,000 live viewers and apparently 250 million views on clips is what the victim here is saying happened. And so that's how many people saw him being accused of the worst of the worst. So how do you even bounce back from that? The only thing you can really do is share this guy's story as far and wide as possible. It's so sad. I hope he gets justice, because no one should ever have to deal with that, ever. Like, this is a nightmare for anyone. Oh my goodness. It's just so sad. And again, this guy is not taking donations from anyone, so don't fall for any crypto scams, or don't buy a meme coin in his name or something like that, because that's not going to him. That's just scammers. That's grifters grifting off of his misery. It's so sad. Regardless, I linked the full podcast down below. Shout out Graham and Jack for doing this interview. It's very, I wish he went on to more channels to spread his word more, but I'm really happy he went on to their channel, because at least people can get his side of the story. So they did him a massive service here. And I just hope his side of the story just goes further and further. And I hope he gets justice. So that's really it for today's stream. Thank you guys for dropping by. Thank you guys all for the donations that were sent in, and for all the support. And I'll see you guys